Hail to the king, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's Monday. You know what that means. It's time for another episode of Chill and Chat with Michael B. And tonight, it's a community show. I'm inviting people from the community, other YouTubers, viewers, whoever the hell you are, to come on and talk about the calm before the storm. Right now, we are in the midst of one of the most easily boringest years in the home arcade industry with nobody doing anything. But apparently the levee is about to break for Q4 2025 when all this shit is about to come out. Let's talk about what we're excited about. Let's talk about what we could potentially see. Rumors swirling around about companies having bigger reveals than what we originally thought. All that fun stuff tonight on Chill and Chat with Michael B. Boys and girls, welcome to our first person to join in. So far, the only person to join in, my good friend, Bill's Retro Gaming Show, otherwise known as Serious Bill or Professional Bill.
That would be me. Hello, hello.
Bill, how the heck are you, man?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here. I said we were talking before the show, and it's nice to do a show with you. Haven't done one in a while, and I thought this would be a fun one to do. So I'm here.
Look at all these people trying to disparage your name, Bill, calling you Whiskey Bill. What's up with that?
That's Meatball Saucy. He's actually referring to a fun little video I did where I was kind of parodying some of my fellow friend YouTubers and their show intros. And I did a little bit in there where I kind of fell over drunk, and I don't even know who I was supposed to be doing there.
Was that me at a gaming convention? Because I've done videos like that. Garage Gamer understood the assignment. He's outside cooking burgers while watching my show. That's how it's done. I don't know if you know this, guys. I like burgers. I like them a lot. Burgers are good. So if anybody else wants to join and be part of the discussion tonight, just hang out. It's going to be a pretty relaxed show. Just basically talking about what we're excited to see from these home arcade companies in Q4 when they're supposedly supposed to do something. The link is actually in the description for the video. So it says join the show. It's on Discord. Just make sure you have video because we have to see you. And if you have headphones, that would be great because if you have headphones on, you can hear us with no echo on the audio. So I know I'm asking a lot, but those are the two things I ask. Hopefully it's not a very big problem. Is your audio working, guys? I sure hope so, JJ.
I hope so too. I hope so too. I've had enough audio problems. I'll keep saying I learned from the best.
Oh, Glenn.
When it comes to audio issues.
Like, I don't understand how it keeps happening. I know he uses a different program. I don't know what he's using. He's using VidNinja.
He's using Video Ninja, yeah, which
Video Ninja to bring people in. I think you started using it too, didn't you?
I used it for the show when I had Glenn on, and it worked well, other than the fact that I didn't realize that it had a setting for auto gain, and it kept wanting to lower my mic constantly. And so, once I figured that out, I was like, oh yeah, we're shutting that right off. Never using that again.
My least favorite thing about having Glenn on a show, he has 187 cameras, 187 cameras for a stream, but he refuses to get a decent mic. Like a lot of
Yeah, I
times
know.
he's talking into the mic through his headphones or something like that. And he almost sounds like shit. And I don't understand why.
Yeah,
Like, come on.
He needs to get a better mic. He definitely does.
People say on YouTube that audio is actually the most important thing. So for the people that take it seriously, like I used to talk to Console Kits and Retro Ralph back in the day. Still really like both those guys, but they really wanted to be professional with YouTube, kind of like you, professional Bill. They really wanted to make something of it and be successful. And they did all this research into other YouTubers, and they said the very first thing they did was focus on getting really, really good audio for the shows and making sure the audio was crisp. And that's like Ralph. One of the reasons has seen so much success right now in the pinball world is that's what he's got, that, you know, he's got the money to do it. First off, he's fucking rich. Look at all his pinball purchases, but he's got a really good audio setup, and that's what everybody focuses on. It's always been a crux for me because I don't have the technical acumen to do all that stuff. I just buy a mic and be like, oh my God, I hope this sounds good.
Yeah.
That's where
I mean, you know, I've got what, you know, I got one of these, you know, 5-fine mics, you know, the ones that you were shilling.
Yeah.
Because it looked really good. And I wanted a condenser mic that I could actually plug into a little mini soundboard, and they make a soundboard too to go with it. So it's not a big, huge, fancy setup, but it seems to get the job done for the most part.
Yeah, they sent me a mic. I checked it out. It was pretty good. Then they offered to send me like more stuff, and I was like, I'm good. I'm at a point right now where I'm trying to be a lot more careful with products I take on for review because I have so little time. And like honestly, doing these product reviews, even as simply as I possibly can, still takes up like an absolute boatload of time. So I know Unico just reached out to me, and they were kind enough to offer me their new handheld, and I was like, I can't. It's the summertime. Both my kids are home from school. I'm busy. I can't right now. So I gotta take a little bit less on in terms of review stuff, just because I don't have time to do it. So in order for me to do something, it really, really needs to fit my wheelhouse, right?
Yep. Makes sense.
Like an indie developer sends me a game, sure, I can do a gameplay video. That's not that hard to do a live stream. But any like big product reviews, unless it's something I really want, I just gotta be careful right now.
Yep.
And 19K Fox says, and the new handheld sucks. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. Anyways, man, anybody who wants to join, the link is in the description. Feel free to join us. We're just messing around right now, but we'll get started in a couple minutes. James, you feel free to join us, my friend. We haven't seen you on YouTube
according
in a
to
while.
P-Dubs, we got at least another 10 minutes before the show starts anyway.
Yeah, that's what he says. P-Dubs is the worst, man. The worst. All right. Well, we'll say hello to the people in the chat, and hopefully some more people join us, Bill, so we can have a real party here. We've got B. Kirby, the Chicago arcade guy. Love you, B. One of the nicest people in the entire community. Jay Pace is here, my Canadian friend. Good to see you, Jay. Loft Raid, there he is. P-Dubs. We got JR. Hey, everyone. Bonos Tecmo, Calvin Wong, G.I. Joel Raid. Ted Adam Green's here. 19K Fox, we just talked about. Meatball Saucy. Meatball, get loaded and come on with us. Do it for the good of the community, man. Who else we got here? Scott B. Garage Gamer, got to go with the 80-20. That's true. You don't go 100% ground beef. You got to mix it in with something else. Striker Cage, Nintendo Switch 2 and Metacrest 3 have been occupying most of my time, only waiting for the Street Fighter 2 XXL. Yeah, I'm finding new reasons to play my Switch 2 recently. You didn't pick one up, did you, Bill?
I did not.
Did you not do it because Glenn shamed you into not doing it, or did you just not feel there was a need to pick it up right now?
No, I'll wait.
For what?
No, you know, honestly, it's money right now. I'm just not putting a lot of money into things like that. It's gotta be something really, really specific that I want.
That's fair.
I just don't see a need for it yet. And another year from now, when there's a lot of stuff out for it, I'll probably pick one up.
All right. Hey, Mike, I just popped in real quick because I got breaking news.
Okay.
I just interviewed G.I. Joel. talking about his upcoming G.I. Joe 3/4 scale DIY Nintendo shaped cabinets. And we confirmed that Canada is possible, just not Newfoundland, man. You're out of luck with that. Just so you know that thumbnail you had waiting in reserve of like, I'm out on Iconic Arcade, I'm out on Basic Fun, and the next one was going to be
I'm out on G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe. You're going to have to do that stream where you cry about not being able to get any products.
I cry about not being able to get a lot of products.
On the desolation, the island of desolation that you live on all by yourself.
Oh no, it's pure. It's all Canada. It's all Canada. That's why I can't get it.
So I just wanted you to know you ain't getting shit this year. And have a good night, Mike. Love you.
Man, what a dick. Come back here. Oh, he left. He actually left. What a jerk. Oh. All right, so who else we got here? Retro Arcade Trooper, what's happening? JJ, Jim the Pacers fan, always good to see you. John Fritz, Jason Little Alien. Yay, he got his name back. I don't know if you noticed this, but everybody's names got messed up earlier on YouTube for some reason.
Yeah,
like
I saw
MG had user 3875 or something like that.
Yeah, well, that's his punishment for constantly deleting and redoing his account.
That's so what he gets. It. Jason NSS, MSU Rich, Odd But Cools. Who else we got here in the chat? MBJ84. If I'm not surprised, if not mistaken, I think this is Mark Janes, Bry G5105, Dan Z, Dan in St. Louis, and I think
maybe there's
that's
something you got to do in YouTube to fix your thing, because it looks like some people are still not who they normally are.
All right, so we got Israel Gaming. He joined us last time. Calvin Wong, Dennis B, P-Dub's #1 arch nemesis because of Mario Kart World. Ritual Dello. I know we got a submarine. I got you. Saiyan Spirits. Who else we got? Vic Vicious. There he is. MG. I came here because I know my comments won't be suppressed. Just saying. Of course not, MG. You are always welcome here. Video Game Vegas. Mike Hawk Hertz. Hey, Kerry Hardy. What's happening, brother? Always good to see you, my man. The Be Me, Thor KC, Saved by Zero, Alpha Burgers, Rockin' Wrestling, The Real Zim, and Bill. We've got company, my man.
Brooklyn!
What's going
Brooklyn
on,
Menace.
fellas?
Good to see you, brother.
I heard you guys talking about professional setups, so I figured I'd come in and screw that up.
Give it up, Brooklyn. You take this stuff pretty serious.
You
know,
I actually do. I got this new mic, and I've been on 2 shows since I got it, and I'm just not sure. I'm kind of liking the sound of my old mic better.
I had a bit of a weird moment like that. I got a Shure, I forget what this is called, but like it's not your normal expensive Shure mic. It's like the step down that still has a USB connection. And at first, when I put it on, I was like, you know what? I think I like my Yeti better. I still don't know if I like the new mic better than before or not.
Yeah, my Yeti has a little bit more bass to it.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I had to get this one because it had the Doom the Dark Ages skin on it. So.
You know, I still haven't played that.
Important decisions.
When you do, you're going to love it. I think it was my favorite Doom game I've ever played.
I got a bit of a problem with that. I think I've talked about this before. So I bought my wife her own Xbox Series S. And the reason I did was she fell in love with Disney Dreamlight Valley on Xbox Game Pass. But she was playing it on my account. So I figured I'd get her own system. She could just play it all the time. But she couldn't move her save data from my account to her account without losing everything. So even now when she plays, she's still playing on my account. So I'll go to log in to play something like Expedition 33, Doom, and it's like your account is in use on another console. And I'm like, son of a bitch. So even though she's got her own console, it still prevents me from playing my Xbox.
I heard you tell that story once before. You're going to have to get a second Xbox.
I have
make
to.
a new account. Oh, you have to. Okay.
I have to. I made her own account. She's like, no, I'm refused to try to move it over. I'll just keep going.
Well, at least your wife plays video games. That's cool.
Yeah, and she actually plays a lot of games like this. Like she has a Nintendo Switch as well. She loves like Animal Crossing. She's really into that, and she's also really into this is going to be a weird one, but the Jurassic Park Evolution games. I don't know if you've ever played those or heard about them.
I've heard about them. I've never played them.
They're kind of like park building games with dinosaurs.
A lot of times when they use these big IPs, you already think it's going to be garbage, you know, because a lot of times they are. But every once in a while, they'll take like a big name and do a good game. Hey, I'm looking forward to this new Terminator 2D game.
Yeah,
That's looking
new
badass.
footage just showed on that, actually. Hey, James hates everything. What's going on, man?
Hello.
What's going on?
We
I
haven't
heard
seen
you were having
lately.
a community stream.
I am having a community stream. We haven't seen you lately. We were looking for you on Super Game Room Dudes Friday night. We didn't see you.
Yeah, I've just not been feeling all that great. So
Aw.
this weekend pretty much got nothing done. Watched some, kind of interesting TV shows. Ken got caught up on Squid Game and Yellow Jackets and The Bear.
Season 3 just started. No spoilers.
I've never watched any of those shows at all.
Oh, you're missing out.
I just watched Yellowstone for the first time about a month ago. We finished it. It was something my wife loved, and I said I'd watch it with her.
Yeah, I loved that show right up until the last season, and then I've never finished the last season. I watched the premiere episode. I was like, I'm done. I've seen enough.
Yeah, it
I'm
kind
gonna
of
remember the show the way it was and not how it ended.
I have all these paid services, and then I accidentally stumbled upon Flipping Nation, and I'm literally that's all I watch 24/7. Whenever
what is it called?
It's all it is shows where they flip houses, like they'll buy garbage
No.
homes and they fix them up, make them look nice.
Right before me and my wife bought our first house, we really got into like those home reno shows, like flipping shows and stuff like that. There was one in Nashville we got into, and then the couple ended up. That's the worst thing. Like every show we watched was about these couples that were flipping homes. All of them got divorced. Every single one of them. Like all of them just broke up. Their marriage is ruined. So I don't know if that's an omen. What's going to happen with me and my wife? I have no idea.
Did you watch any of the ones with Vanilla Ice flipping houses?
I used to watch those, yeah.
Oh boy.
They haven't played any of those on this station yet, but maybe they will. I was getting mistaken for Vanilla Ice.
I was about to
Especially
say
when I
that
was
you kind of
younger.
look a bit like him for some reason.
Can you say "Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go"?
No, I didn't even really listen to Vanilla Ice.
I listened to Ice Ice Baby a lot. I had one tape with me and my Walkman. I spent 3 weeks in hospital when I was like 11. I broke my leg. Spent 3 weeks in hospital with one cassette tape, and all it was Vanilla Ice's introductory thing.
I bet that hospital couldn't wait to get rid of you.
Well, it was in the Walkman, so they couldn't hear it. But I listened to Ice Ice Baby over and over and over again. Yeah.
Get him the F out of here.
So
I
guys,
hated that song when it came out.
what? Ice Ice Baby?
Yeah, because
Really?
I come from Brooklyn where real rap was. So like when all of a sudden like stuff from Miami was showing up, it did not sound like what we were used to. And I just did not like it.
Whoa. What? You're telling me Ice Ice Baby isn't real rap?
No.
Which white kid from
it's
Miami
grown on
was-
me. But actually, my favorite version was years later when he did the metal version. The metal remix was
Oh
good.
yeah. When that's right. That was the time when all the white kids, mainstream kids, got into like Korn, Limp Bizkit, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And Vanilla Ice came out with that music. I remember. I don't forget that. I'll tell you a funny story about it. Ice Ice Baby. So we were at our university bar one night, and my buddy likes to get up and force himself on stage so he can play guitar. So he did this, and then he called me up because he knows I know all the words to Ice Ice Baby. So he plays it on guitar and gets me to play it. So I'll never forget, like I sang it and we got down and everybody was like losing their minds. It was great. But then a guy came up to me and he was like, man, like that was some wicked rapping. You just dropped some bars. And I was like, that wasn't rapping. That's Vanilla Ice, man. All right, guys. At some point we gotta do some sensible stuff here. So I think we can all agree literally nothing's happened with Home Arcade for what, seven months now. Like nothing's going on. This has to be probably the most boring year in terms of new Home Arcade releases ever. Like we've been following this hobby now, especially ever since Arcade1 came out. Arcade1Up came out for about 6 years. Nothing's ever been like this. I mean, there's nothing coming to stores. There's no news. JJ said earlier tonight, he was like, I hope there's some home arcade news. And I was like, I can't make it up, man. What do you want me to do? Like, I mean, you've got YouTubers out there that are basically making shows about, I'm going to make my own arcades, like, Corn Arcade does and stuff like that. So it's been really, really lame for the last like 6-7 months in terms of home arcade releases. But it looks like we're over that hump now. A bunch of stuff is coming out in Q4, stuff we can be excited about. So I kind of wanted to get some people on, ask them their opinions, what they're excited about, and if they're excited about anything, or if you think there's any hope for anything. So I wanted to start out with Arcade1Up. Arcade1Up has been desolate this year. This has been, in terms of recreation arcades in a playable format, this has been the leader for the last couple of years. Do you think Arcade1Up has anything for us this year? I mean, they pretty much said to, I think, what's his name, Keo Deacon, that it was just going to be the Pac-Man pub table that they were going to be coming out with at Costco. That's it. But then we got that news about the Mossy Oak Buck Hunter cabinet. Do you think they have anything lined up for us?
No, I was in Walmart the other day, and I was like, what the hell is that? Is that an iArcade? Are they back?
Yeah.
And it was this new Arcade1Up that looks like the top of an iArcade.
The demo bar top they've got out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really terrible looking.
Oh, it's bad. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's just the demo unit they're putting in the stores. That's not, you can't actually buy it in that form.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad I can't buy it.
But
I don't want to buy it in any form.
But
I
it's
didn't like that
but
19
the bad thing is
2x9.
it's a pretty good representation of the top half of these new SE edition, whatever things that they've come out with. So yeah, you get a pretty good idea of how pretty bad these things are.
Yeah, I watched a short from 19K Fox the other day, and he actually saw one of these in store, went up and put his hand on the screen of the playable area, and like he was like, "This is terrible." Like when you can put your hand across the entire screen, something's wrong there.
Yeah, but 19K Fox has really big hands.
Yeah, but a really small penis usually. Like I'll never forget. We came home with pizza one time, and my dad was furious because my mom went to the store to get like fish and chips, which is a Newfoundland favorite, my dad's favorite, and I talked her out of it. I was like, "Let's get this pizza instead." So she brought home this pizza deal. And my dad lost it. He was like, my whole hand fits the pizza. That's all I could think of when I saw 19K Fox's short. It was like, how small is this screen? And I think it's smart what Arcade1Up did, because obviously they were told, we do not have floor space for you to put a demo cab out there. So what do? They come up with a bar top that can be fit on the shelves where they're selling the cabinets. The only thing is, I don't think you should show off what you're selling. Let the illusion of what could be in the box do the selling, because what you're actually showing is terrible.
Yeah, and they're targeting people who are going to impulse buy that don't really care, quite frankly, anyway. So it is what it is. I do, however, I think you're still going to see some form of XL at Costco this year. I don't know what it's going to be, but I would pretty much bet, like, they've released in cycle, right? Partycades, the pub table, and an XL. So I think we'll see one. If I were, a betting man, maybe it's a Big Buck Hunter XL, or maybe it's a Mortal Kombat, but I don't know that Costco would carry a Mortal Kombat because of the graphic nature of the game, but who knows, But I would think if they're going to do one, they'll probably do it because they've got an existing contract with them. And I personally know, Costco is trying to get more arcades in Costco. So I would be shocked if they didn't order something from Arcade1Up.
Yeah, I could agree with that. What do you think, Brooklyn?
Look, what I've said about Arcade1Up for a while is just be happy with what you got, because it just doesn't seem like they're going to put anything new out. So they can put out cabinets in any size they want, but really, I think what people would like to see is just something new. Yeah,
and it won't be new, right? It'll be recycled shit
so
we've seen 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, the recycled games don't excite me. I thought that they made the best version of their Pac-Man like 2 years back.
The
Mhm.
And
XL.
now all of a sudden,
Yeah.
like, why not just keep it like that? Why now go back downhill with it again? So
I
Yep.
don't know. Like for me, I think they got an easy layup with an XL if they go back to Costco. Either do a Miss Pac-Man XL, Class of 81 XL, or you do like James said, a Mortal Kombat. And hell, a big Buck Hunter XL would be a slam dunk too, in my opinion. Any of those titles, easy win for Arcade1Up. Just do one game. Don't make it fucking weird like you did last year and release it. I think you're going to get some love from the home arcade community just doing that.
Yeah, and that particular game I think would work well in the Costco membership club, right? But again, who knows? Shooting, it's if they want to deal with that, who knows?
I think Costco's pretty liberal. I think they'll do whatever they want. I don't think they're too
Yeah, I don't
worried
know.
about
You
that.
just never know at some of these stores. They're very antsy about what they actually put in because it is all impulse. Like people generally aren't going, "Hey, I'm going to Costco just to get some video games."
Now, we also know about this, which we're going to talk about in a second. That
Mhm.
won't be the only big size cab at Costco. This is the reason why I think that Arcade1Up might not have an XL at Costco this year, because we know Basif Fun has been putting a lot of pressure on to get in their Supreme XL in the club stores. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Bill, anything you want to say before we move on?
No, I think that pretty much covers it. I guess the only thing I'll say is I guess I'm not as bullish on the idea of them actually coming out with an XL this year. It'd be great if they do, but there's been literally zero indicators that anything like that is coming. So I'm not saying James is wrong. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I would have said the same thing about the pub table, right? But we know they've released a Partycade this
Yeah.
year. They admitted to a pub table. So it only, to me, makes sense that there'll also be some XL monstrosity in there. I don't, for life of me, like if it was Mortal Kombat, I think everybody would be kind of fired up to have a Mortal Kombat XL.
Oh,
Easy
sure.
I'm
win.
pretty
Yeah.
sure it won't be that. Right?
No, yeah, probably not.
It's going to be something very disappointing that we never anticipated. And it'll probably
NBA
have
Jam Slim XL.
16x9. Honestly, NBA Jam is the most likely
Yeah.
because they no longer have Shack Jam available to buy. And so now's the time to release another XL and punch their ticket for an NBA Jam release for the year, right? So that would not shock me.
All right. So moving on, I really haven't heard any other rumors about Arcade1Up. No one knows what they're doing. I will tell you, as much as I shit on Arcade1Up for the quality of some of the stuff they've did in the past, I got to give them a little bit of credit. Like what they're doing right now, moving away from the home arcade community and trying to go out to these random influencers, giving them cabs and stuff like that. The quality of the videos have been pretty good. I mean, I see all these girl influencers pretending to buy Arcade1Up cabinets in store and then having them home. I don't think that's appropriate. I think at some point somebody's going to step in on this because none of these female influencers are buying these cabs. So saying they went to Walmart, picked one up, and then bringing them home, that's some questionable shit. Like, I mean, I get shit on for the FCC stuff for stuff I didn't even do. Like, these people are legit lying to you that they bought these cabinets.
Well, and have you seen like the TikTok program that all these are being released under?
Yeah.
Like they basically are giving them the cabs as long as they make the videos and stuff. So it's interesting.
I watched one there the other day. Pretty girl. She said, she showed her going into Best Buy, looking at all the Arcade1Ups there.
Yeah.
And then she pointed at the MB Jam. She goes, this one. And then it goes to her at home having it. And she's like, I bought this. And I'm like, but did you? Did you really?
Did you really?
in a
Did you
week,
really?
that cabinet's going to be all bedazzled.
Yeah. But it's not out of the question. I'm a dude and I like looking at nice looking girls online. I'm sorry if that's a problem for anybody, but why would it be? Like, they're
It's
really
a
good
big problem
looking.
for me, Mike. Too. Sorry, I'm gonna have to leave.
Anyways, I do see them all the time. Like there's one, I don't know if she's a cosplayer, but she's like an e-girl. This one, Kristen Lene, and she's beautiful, but like she streams and she's got like an Arcade1Up cab there. I don't know. It's like a hip thing for these e-streaming girls and stuff like that.
Do you think it's fair that the women influencers have an unfair advantage.
No, I demand equal time.
I love editing videos for like 20 hours and 2 people watch it, and some girl gets on hi and spins around and it's like 7 million views.
I mean, what are you gonna do, right? Oh my
What are you gonna
God,
do?
ladies and gentlemen, look at this.
Speaking of,
Now we get the sex appeal here. Look, Pitbull.
Finally, someone that's built similar to me.
Pitbull, I don't think you want to talk about home arcade. What are you doing here?
Oh, drinking.
Pitbull, do you think Arcade1Up have anything interesting? I can't even ask without laughing. Any gas in the tank? They gonna do anything this year?
Before Pitbull gets started, where's the dump button?
Not even gonna answer. No. Just next question.
Listen, in all honesty, if they were smart, they would actually make an XL.
Yeah.
But they're not.
Well, but we know they're not that smart.
Yeah. I don't have any confidence that I know what James said earlier. There's easy things they can do. Just like making a Mortal Kombat XL will be so easy to do. And I think people will be pretty happy with it. But one of the reasons I don't think they're going to do it is the other company I want to talk about now, Basif Fun, this commodity or entity coming in that we don't know that much about. I mean, they've got what it looks like 5 Supreme XL cabs coming in. They're going to be sold at Costco and other club stores. So maybe Arcade1Up is pushed out in that category. Maybe, Costco wants to have home arcades, but, it's pretty hard to, say we can bring 1 compared to another company saying we're doing 5. So do you think that it's more likely that we're getting XLs from, Basif Fun in the club stores and maybe not Arcade1Up? Anybody?
I thought the question was for Pitbull. I'm not talking over him. There's no way.
Don't be afraid of Pitbull. He won't actually do anything. He'll just show you his thigh and then keep
I
going.
know he used to be a pro wrestler for ECW.
Look, I'll start first off. I don't know that it's. I know they've said they want to get in club stores. I know we're all assuming Costco. Has it been confirmed that Costco is even for sure one of them? Beyond that, Costco's a business. They're, I don't think they can. That's like saying, well, Walmart's not going to carry Xbox because they carry PlayStation. I think if they can carry both and they can make money selling both, they'll sell both.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I know personally that Costco has been pursuing that route, right? Of getting more in there because Arcade1Up isn't meeting their demand, but that doesn't mean that they don't want Arcade1Up too, right? They have some existing contracts with them. So they're just looking for any company, I think, at this point that will help meet what they think they can sell. But
all right, I'm back.
I thought you just mastered the art.
I don't know what the fuck. I think I hit it with my drink. I don't know what the hell was going on.
What about Basif Fun, Pitbull? They're coming out with WrestleFest. It looks like they've got 5.
Listen,
XLs.
that I would love that.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I mean, that's such a good game, and if they could pull it off, then
Exactly,
why not?
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's any of the as well as I do. The hardest part as far as any of the wrestling games. I mean, what's funny because I was actually in one of the first ECW games on PS1. So you go back and you look at like
was that Backyard Assault?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but as well as I do, the hardest part about any of the wrestling games is getting all the likeness rights, all the bullshit that they need to really be, okay, it's here we go. And the fact that they got Demolition and all the rest of the stuff is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, but I listen. That would be a game that I would be interested in all honesty, God. I mean, it's I have cabarets and full size games and pinball and all the rest of the bullshit. I mean, but if they came out with that game and it was like a really good ROM and it played well, I'd buy it. In all honesty, I'd buy it.
Well, they're saying that it is arcade accurate. It's the arcade accurate ROM. Looks like we know at least 2 of the games on the cab are going to be WrestleFest and Superstars. So I mean, both those games are fucking great. Like Superstars, they had it at a bowling alley behind my house growing up. Used to go play it all
when
the time.
We used to own bowling alleys.
Yeah. But Superstars was great, and it's not as good as WrestleFest, but it's like that continuation. They took what they did in Superstars, and that's what really crafted WrestleFest. Like adding in the finisher moves and all that stuff, just put it over the top, changing having the tag team tournament and the Royal Rumble. Yeah, I will stick on this. I know other people are saying online doesn't matter, but man, online would be so cool for that Royal Rumble and that tag team tournament. Like,
yeah,
not so
that
much
would be
the tag
neat,
team
actually.
tournament, but the Rumble especially, right?
I mean, no, that would be neat. I'd be into that. I wouldn't, because as well as I do, a lot of times with the online thing, it's a big, it's the gimmicks, the leaderboards, it's the bullshit. If they could pull off an online where you could actually go on and play against people in that, it would be huge. So,
yeah,
who knows?
Like WrestleFest is great, but it does have I don't know the right way to put this. It has a little bit of, once you do so much, you're kind of done with it. And the only thing that really brings you back is like if you play online, like the tag team tournament. Once you do it, you don't ever want to go through that again. Like it just keeps going on and on. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But adding the element that another person can join in and challenge you with their teams and knock you off, that makes it fun. And of course, the Rumble. Anytime, if you've ever played one of the N64 wrestling games like No Mercy or WWF WrestleMania 2000, playing a Royal Rumble with 4 fucking friends is one of the funnest things you will ever do in your entire life.
Oh no, yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah,
no, I agree. I mean, I just think that they would do themselves a giant favor by trying to either hook up with who's the company that did all the online stuff for 1UP.
Most of it was done by
Code Mystics.
Code Mystics.
Code Mystics, yeah, because the Code Mystics, I mean, they did all, like, if you go on Xbox, like, on Xbox, any of the Killer Instinct stuff was done by Code Mystics.
Yeah.
So even with the exception of like the newer Killer Instinct that they came out with a couple years back, I mean, other than that, all the other stuff was ported. They did. So if they could hook up with them and get them to do the online for that, I mean, again, that would be like, I mean, I had full size way back, and then when we had our son, I did away with all that stuff because you needed to. You know how it works.
I've done it a couple times.
And then when my wife, the story was when we got decided, she started buying this Mackenzie Child's pottery. They make it up on Seneca Lake, not far from me. They sell this shit all over the world. She said, "Well, I'm gonna start collecting this stuff." She's a corrections officer. She's built like me. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. So, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to get back in arcades. And she's like, oh, okay, well, what do you think? How many? I said, 1 or 2. 14 later. And then when the kids when the kids' playroom cleared out and they got old enough where they weren't in their playroom anymore, I took over the playroom. I had it in my office in here. I had all the games in here. And then I'm like, well, I'll move them out there. So then when I moved them out there, then my wife was like, how about I take that room back? I'm like, I'll put them in the theater. Fine. That's fine. I don't give a shit. And then after that, it went from the theater, then we built another theater, so the theater became an arcade, so that's where it all is now. But I have room in there, so I would totally, if they did that right,
yeah,
I always said I'll never go back and buy another 1UP unless they blew me away about something crazy, like they did an XL fucking Star Wars. Excuse my language, but I'm Brooklyn. You're Italian, aren't you?
No, but I come from an Italian neighborhood.
Right. So right. So I live down that way, so I know how it all works. But I mean, but the fact of the matter is, I mean, it's if they did like an XL Star Wars or something, I'd be on it. But everything else that, like you guys have been saying, there's nothing that's worth a rat's ass.
So WrestleFest from Basic Fun, one of the other announced cabs is in fact an XL Star Wars Pitbull.
God, I wish.
No, I'm serious. It's 100%. It was in the original interview. Star Wars is another one of the titles they're doing. The only thing that's a little bit off-putting about it, and I need to know more information on this, is when this guy, Irate Gamer, was at this convention, they said it was Return of the Jedi. And I mean, obviously Star Wars Arcade, Atari, and also Empire Strikes Back, which is basically just the exact same cab. It's just, modded. Sure. But Return of the Jedi is a very fucking different cab.
Yeah,
very different.
Well, Return of the Jedi, iRobot, Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
they were all Atari System 2 cabinets.
So it's rumored that the artwork is Return of the Jedi. So we'll have to wait to see some images of this. But yeah, there's a Star Wars XL coming from Basic Fun. There's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Pac-Man for some reason, WrestleFest. And I know I'm missing
Pac-Man.
I know. But you got to do Pac-Man. If you're a home arcade company, it's
listen. I even got rid of my Pac-Mans because I was so pissed off with so many Pac-Mans. The only Pac-Man I have left, in my arcade now, I have a tabletop Miss Pac-Man. I have a cocktail. So.
Yeah. Well, I remember back when I had Arcade1Ups, I already had Pac-Man, and then I was going to get the Miss Pac-Man cab. And a friend of mine said, it's a lot of real estate taken up for Pac-Man, right? Like, are you sure you want both of them? Like, that's the question. They both play so similarly. Do you really want Pac-Man if you got Miss Pac-Man? Wouldn't you rather throw another game in there?
Well, yeah, that's the point. I mean, as well as I do, Miss Pac-Man outsold Pac-Man 10-1. It's the best
superior game. Yeah,
it's the best selling game of all time. It's that's why it's number one on all the lists, and because of that, it's just because of the patterns are way different. Everything plays differently because of the pathways side to side and all the other crap. So I mean, it's just a superior game. And right, why take up more real estate, more space when you don't have to?
What about Bill's Retro Gaming Show? Of the 5 titles, the other one is Centipede, I do believe.
And Centipede. I have a Cabaret Centipede too. So yeah, I love Centipede.
well, hold on, wait till we talk about Centipede, because I'm not very happy with Centipede. But
okay.
we'll ask you first. Anything there from Basic Fun, whether the Ultra line or the Supreme line, which is XL, that you'd be interested in?
Probably the one that's got my attention the most that I really want to see more info on is the Ninja Turtles one.
Yeah,
that one has some interest to me. I think I'd have to look at their Supreme version, because I'm going to assume, based on what we've seen with WrestleFest, that the Supreme version is going to be 4-player and the Ultra or Deluxe version is probably going to be 2-player.
That's what I'm assuming, yeah.
So, and if it's done right, well, I don't know if it's going to be done better than the Arcade1Up, but it's going to be similar for sure in build to the Arcade1Up. But I am curious to see it. I'm curious to see what other titles are going to be available on it and what they do with it.
Thanks.
Well, that's the fun thing about Turtles, right? Like when Arcade1Up did it, we only got the 2 games, and we were always thinking, man, that'd be such a cab to throw like Sunset Riders on and some other Konami style games. Then they didn't. then they didn't do shit, right? But it looks like Basic Fun are moving in a different direction. However, they did kind of mention, I think, some games would be like 1-game cabinets and stuff like that. So we'll have to see. Brooklyn, what about you? Anything from that list?
Yeah, it's easy for me. I do think the wrestling cab's a great idea. I know that this is crazy to even think, but if they ever did get that cab advertised like on a WWE show, they would sell so many of them. That could care less about home arcade, that would just want to have that maybe in their little man cave or bar at home.
100%.
For me, the one that I have the most nostalgia for and that I missed out on is Star Wars. So
Yeah.
I would love to have something that looks like a real Star Wars cabinet.
Well, again, if it's going to be a System 2 cabinet versus the original, believe it or not, Mike, the Return of the Jedi and the original Star Wars, there is a slight difference in cabs. Slight difference. The cutout is a little different. It's not a 1-to-1.
Oh, I know. Believe me, I know. One of my biggest regrets is around the time I was really getting into Arcade1Up originally, there was somebody here locally selling a Return of the Jedi, a real Return of the Jedi arcade for about $600. And I was just like, oh, I don't know if I want to get into that. And I passed up on it. I know, right?
You know how much those things are worth?
I know.
They go for so much money, dude.
I know it was stupid. If I had my time back, I would have bought it. James, what about you? From the big 5 cabs they're coming out with, is there anything that is a must for you that you would love to have?
Yeah, so if they did Return of the Jedi in the right shape, I would be interested. I don't think that's likely.
I know, looking at the shape, right?
Yeah.
I got a feeling it's going to be Star Wars shaped with Return of the Jedi pasted on it.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case. I'd rather they did Empire if they were going that route.
Exactly.
But definitely the WWE WrestleFest is the one I'm mainly looking forward to. That's the one I want, and Brooklyn makes a good point. I can't wait to see somebody body slammed through it on Raw or something.
I will
buy it just to do it.
Funny enough, Arcade1Up has showed up on a wrestling show before. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but AEW did this angle a little while ago when Miro, better known now, he's back in WWE's Rusev, came in and he was the best man. He was the best man for this wedding of this guy, Kip Sabian, who's a gamer too. And they actually brought out Arcade1Up during his best man thing, and Miro slammed somebody through an Arcade1Up Mortal Kombat 2. I don't think that you're actually going to see it advertised on the show, but what I do think you will see, I think there's guys like, especially the guys that collect the toys and stuff like that. So guys like Xavier Woods, Matt Cardona, people like that. I think you can expect to see them pick one up, post it on social media, probably have it on their YouTube videos and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's Basic Fun. I still don't have an answer for Canada. It looks like we're getting the shaft, but the one good thing about Basic Fun is...
I heard about you, Mike. You like the shaft.
One good thing I did here is they're focused on direct-to-consumer, so I may still be in luck, because the Brick has pretty much told me they're only getting the Ultras here in Canada, so that sucks. But at the same time, they are also very concerned. They were like, if it comes with the same price tag that the Arcade1Up XLs did, we don't want anything to do with it because they're not going to sell. So that seems to be a big concern for the retailers with these arcade products, is they have to be within a certain price category for people to even consider them. So, yeah. Vic Vicious, hopefully soon, man. They've been... I've been trying to figure out a way to get in contact with him. I think I'm going to reach out to David McIntosh and see if he's doing anything with him, because right now they've only talked to a couple toy publications, which I'm sure they're already in cahoots with, and nobody else has heard anything about their products. So hopefully we get some more information soon. Now moving on, and we're going to get into the rumor category. I know Pitbull's going to be animated during this one. Iconic Arcade. So Iconic Arcade 1025. These cabs, I think it's 1025. These cabs are finally going to come out. Do you think we're going to see any more hiccups, or are these cabs going to come out as promised? Bill, we'll go with you first.
I'm going to say I think they come out. I'm going to say they have to. I don't think they can push them back anymore, or you're going to see more and more people start to cancel. They already got cancellations when it slipped from June. At least they kind of try to put out a reason for it. Told people what was going on. I think they have to, especially if you want to have these in people's hands for a holiday season this year. That's like the latest you can go. So yeah, I think they are. I think they have to do it.
Brooklyn, what about you, buddy? Do you think Iconic actually comes out?
I do, but no one's really seen like how the UI is going to work.
Nothing.
When I first saw the cabinets, like the reveal, I was like, wow, these are pretty nice for for like a home arcade. They're not the type of games I play, but I get excited for other people, and I have friends of mine in the community that I know are going to get it, so I'll get to check it out in person. And then everything just went quiet for a long time, you know. So I do think that they're going to come out. I'm just curious as to how are they going to run, you know. And if they have a Pi in it, doesn't even matter what games it comes with. You can just put whatever you want on it.
That's what I was thinking too. Like I was looking at it when they went back up, and I was like, maybe I'll put Punisher on this thing. And like I was like, you know what? There's more reason to get it. Unacceptable Fringe. What are you doing here? Don't you do a show Monday nights at the same time?
No, I'm filming content before Canada Day holiday, and just seen you were live and said, hey, why don't I pop in and see how you guys are doing?
Well, thanks for popping in, buddy. You're giving Mark Carney a break for once, I guess.
I thought we were going to talk politics. Apparently, you guys are talking arcades. What's
no politics here.
No. I came here for a break.
What do you got there? You got an Asteroids Legends Ultimate. Is that a Legends Ultimate behind you, Pitbull? Look at that.
It is.
Look at your Nintendo cabs there.
Nice.
Those are
Look
nice.
at that.
Huberts.
Oh, he's got a
the difference between the guy that's lifting the real cabs into the house and the guys that are lifting the 3/4 ones into the house.
So this has got about it originally came with 20 games on it, and then 20 games. So this is like all the games that already came in this thing. So the Game Room's classic. So this has also it's got 3 different boards in it. So hey Mike, there's your
a Robotron cocktail.
Yeah. Robotron cocktail. There's a Centipede cocktail, and I actually lit the actual marquee. These were never lit.
I know.
Dwarf cocktail. There's Crystal Castle.
Nice.
So you got the full size. There's your Zookeeper.
Oh yeah, I love Zookeeper.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
There's Mad Planets.
Oh wow.
Nice.
There's Cubert. There's Donkey Kong 3. It's also got Donkey Kong and Junior in it, and there's Popeye.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
And now the Wizard of War, My Army of Darkness, Forbidden Planets, Terminator in Italian. Bug Bunny, and I gotta get and there's the Miss Cocktail, Miss Pac-Man Cocktail, and I gotta put 2 other games in here and the other 2 pinballs. So,
what are the other 2 pinballs? Are you gonna get a spooky pinball?
Yeah, I actually I'm on the man, I would love an Evil Dead. Jesus.
I know.
Oh yeah.
I would love an Evil Dead. I have a teed off.
Yeah.
With the gopher topper. And I actually also have an Ultraman coming.
Nice.
Oh,
I was thinking of you last week because Spooky did a gameplay. I think it was their new code for the Wizard mode on Evil Dead, and they gave away an Ultraman, and I was like,
dude,
"Where's Pitbull?"
Dude, I'm telling you right now, if people don't, because one of your favorites, one of my favorites is Halloween.
Yeah,
and I can tell you right now that like they're the same built on the same chassis and stuff, but they play so differently, and it's you can't beat that for the price. I'm trying to get a hold of an Alien right now too. So, because the Pinball Brothers
Alien,
yeah, that was like because it's the Ripley edition, so it's got you got both movies that you can play either one on it, and the game is. I mean, they blew the pooch with ABBA and Queen. I don't know what the hell they were thinking, but with Predator, at least they look like they came back a little bit with it, and we'll see. And I don't know anybody that's got it yet, so I haven't seen anybody to play it. But,
I actually watched the gameplay video for the first time today. Like, really watched it, and it's better than I thought. I gotta say, I give them credit on that.
Well, you remember like when I shared because I got that top down. Remember I sent it to you. That top-down picture, that was like pre-release. It was like they probably would have ripped my ass for sending that to like you and Pete Ubbs and like a bunch of other people. And I was like, do I put this online? And then right after, like probably like a half hour after I sent it to you, what's his fuck? Excuse me. The Akira dude, the pinball guy. What the hell is his name?
Kaneda.
Kaneda. Yeah.
Kaneda, yeah.
Kaneda posted it, and I was like, thank God I didn't do it. I was like, thank God, because I was waiting for Kerry Hardy to do it too. I talked back and forth with it. I'm like, I'm not posting it. I'm like, well, I'm not posting it. I'm like, I'll send it around, but I'm not posting it because I'll get my ass chewed. So it's like, whatever, man. So listen, I don't. So what are they doing with the centipede thing?
Oh, yeah, really quickly on that. But first, Unacceptable Fringe, have you been following the Basic Fun stuff? What are your thoughts on Basic Fun and anything there you're interested in? It looks like they're coming out with Star Wars, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, WrestleFest, which is a new IP. What else is it? Centipede, Pac-Man. I think that's it for the first. I might be forgetting one there, but it looks like in Canada we're only getting the ultra versions at retail. So the kind of the shittier versions that are more like Arcade1Up Deluxe.
Take the shit version.
Yeah.
So I've been following all of it, mostly on this channel, and I can tell you my interest in those products, just because of like when you look at Centipede and the monitor, there's only so far I can support those products because it's not like my issue is it's not close to the real thing, I guess.
Bingo. Yeah.
It's like an Arcade1Up, and we've already done Arcade1Up, and I just can't get on board with it anymore. I've actually since we moved, I've kind of sold off some of my machines, and I actually invested in one of these Extreme Home Arcades. I don't know if you've ever seen that company. They often post their machines on YouTube. Machines of the week, custom machines.
A lot of people have gone in that direction. We were talking about wrestlers earlier. A lot of the wrestlers that were really big into the Arcade1Ups originally have done the same thing. They've just given up on the 1-ups. Like AJ Styles has one of these custom arcades now. Bailey's got one. I'm trying to remember who else. I know Xavier Woods got one a while ago. So yeah, I know 100% what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So Extreme Home Arcades, what I liked about them is that they've got it's a giant arcade. I mean, it's a 52-inch monitor, so similar to what you've got in the back.
Megacade.
It's like a Megacade, and it's got the active marquee. It's got 4 players, a stream deck, a trackball, yokes, everything you want.
Now
light guns.
running.
And I believe it's either a 3080 or 4080 Ti they put inside of it with an updatable network. So like you can play newer Steam games like Shredder's Revenge, things like that on it as well. Xbox Series X games, like not just arcade. They've even got a section you can go and read old Nintendo Powers while you're sitting on it. So it's kind of an all-in-one. And I looked at it now. It's costly because it's coming from the US and the dollar exchange. So for me, it's running about $8 to $10K by the time we're done with freighting and shipping. Wow. But I looked at it and said, space is one of the biggest issues when it comes to these arcades. And when you're looking at Arcade1Up or any of those products these days, sitting at close to $1,000 in Canada per machine, I said, well, it's like buying 8 machines at once, and I'll just have one big one sitting in the corner with my pinball, and I can just enjoy that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, everybody always talks about Multicades. Like, the great thing about Multicades is you can play a bunch of stuff, and it takes up minimum space. Brooklyn, you were on Unacceptable Fringe's show earlier, and you talked about the exact same thing, the Legends Ultimate. Like,
I wasn't on Unacceptable.
Oh shit, that thing's loud.
Sorry, Gamer Fridge.
I was on Gamer Fridge show.
Fridge.
That show's unacceptable too. So
yeah, but you said the same thing about that Legends Ultimate. For somebody starting out and space is an issue, I mean, you just throw up Legends Ultimate and you can play tons of stuff. The big difference with these other things is like you're looking at Pitbull in the background and you get that ambience from the original arcade when these companies do it and do it well. Now, Pitbull, back to your question. What's wrong with the Centipede? The Centipede XL or Supreme, James tells me, has better artwork, But James, you're going to have to enlighten me on this because I haven't really seen the box. Still has that 4x3 monitor, correct? In the
It does look that way. It's it's going to be render on the side anyway. So, but it does look to be a 4x3, but it doesn't have a joystick. So we know the Ultra has a joystick on it as well. So like, I wonder how different the games are. Like,
does it still have a spinner?
It does have a spinner.
Yeah,
it has a spinner and a trackball, but no joystick. And again, it's a render. Maybe the joystick is just they left it off for some reason. But
yeah.
So like that's my big one of my big complaints about Arcade1Up. Like people love the fact that Arcade1Up, you can get like 20 games on it, 15 games on it, 30 games on it, and that's cool for them. But what it does is you get a game like Centipede where I just want a vertical monitor. I just want it to play really well. And because they're trying to fit so much shit in there, then it fucks up the cabinet. And all of a sudden we get a horizontal 19-inch monitor instead of what should be a vertical.
Sorry, I'm not paying attention. I'm watching Pitbull.
He's actually Pitbull, you gotta play with your feet.
I'm sorry.
Play Crystal Castles with your feet.
I'm trying to play with my junk.
You know, I do gotta say, out of all the Arcade1Up verticals, Burger Time, I think they did best. In terms of the aspect ratio and fitting on the screen. I wish they'd do them all like that. That's one of the Arcade1Ups I will probably never get rid of, just because the aesthetic, the look, and I like the nostalgia look. But the problem, I think, with Arcade1Up or any of these companies, kudos to Glenn with his FUs, because they're actually reasonably priced given what you're getting for the product. But Arcade1Up, I remember when they first came into Canada, and I don't know about the United States, but they started out at $249 when you got the first wave of machines.
Yeah.
And then the second, third wave, when we got into TMNT and Golden Tee, they suddenly shot up to $600, $700, and then
$519 for wave 3. Then $600 when Ninja NBA Jam came out.
Yeah, so it's kind of like Icarus flying too close to the sun, right? Like they don't get me wrong, every business has to make money, but what you have to look at it as the product. At the end of the day, it's emulation, and it's just MDF and vinyl. So
I hear Robotron.
If you wanted to move more product, you probably should have stayed at a reasonable price range so that people said, this is a niche thing, but it's I want to build a collection. I think they would have sold more units if they just would have had a better price tag on these things. The prices these days, it becomes no longer an impulse buy, and it becomes more of a, do I really need this kind of buy?
Yeah, it was tough when it shot up from, I think even $600 was a lot of money, but like what we were getting for $600 was a light up in Canadian, I'm talking about. So that was $399 for you guys in the US. So at that point, we were getting a light up marquee, we were getting the matching riser, we were getting the full cab. And for me, that felt like the sweet spot. Like once it jumped up to $750 in Canada and then $850 and then $1,000, I was like, all right, guys, you might have gone too far. But you know, I don't know if that was out of their control. Like Glenn and his prices. One thing I'll say about that, you got to remember, Glenn's not a big multi-million-dollar company, right? Glenn is one person and then a team of people in China that are also doing other things. So Glenn's overhead is like minimal, next to nothing. So when Glenn says,
for the money, you're getting better quality is the thing, though. That's the difference, is that you're paying for that quality and the craftsmanship, the wood, the rotating screen, the controls are better. Like it's the way I see it is that if Walmart in the US, and again, they didn't do it very often in Canada, but if they could liquidate those machines at a couple $100, there's no reason Arcade1Up couldn't have kept it low. Or at least reasonably low.
Oh, no. It's not that easy. Arcade1Up also signed horrible deals that said you buy them for us for X amount of dollars, and then you can clearance them for whatever you want if they don't sell, and we will reimburse you. So that's the reason they could sell them for $100
on that.
So I probably should have worded that better. They should have had a better deal with the retailers to say, look, this is our price point, and then they could have done their shitty deals. But if Arcade1Up could have just got them in at around that 500 mark, if they could have made TMNT for $500, $600, they could have made NBA Jam, they could have made Time Crisis, they could have made any of them for that price. And that goes into when you're looking at the quality of the controls, the monitors, these BOEs, they're not overly expensive. I can imagine the circuit boards don't cost a lot. right? So unless it's the MDF that's going up with the cost of lumber these days, or however you want to work it, and again, companies got to make money, but when you start to alienate your audience, again, it went from an impulse buy to a mostly your community that was buying it, right? It was no longer the mom and dad walking through a store saying, "Hey, that's neat. I remember that. Let's pick it up." It was enthusiasts picking it up, which is a niche audience.
100%. The price is forced a niche audience. I completely agree. The only thing is, like, you can't say one for one with Glenn that it's better. That's fine because it's all accurate. Glenn's stuff is going to be better, but you also got to remember Glenn's stuff isn't licensed, so there's no licensing fees that then they have to what's the word, accrue across, so many cabs sold. They don't have to do that.
Grease the foam.
They don't have overhead. There's a lot of things that Glenn can cut his prices down and go with quality because Glenn's not paying for, and licensing, overhead, yada yada yada.
I think that's the way to go, though, for enthusiasts these days, is that if they're looking for, and look, I'm only comparing it in other community shows where they complain about the quality of Arcade1Up or Basif Fun or any of these companies.
We don't think these are quality. I mean, we think they're nostalgia buys, and like
so quality to money, though. If you're going to get something and you want, a Multicade again, or something that you can tinker with, or look like the original. I think that's the thing about these Arcade1Ups, is that people buy them based on nostalgia. So if you can have, a full scale looking Donkey Kong or a full scale Mortal Kombat, even if it's a Multicade, for a fraction of the price of buying a real machine, I think that's a lot more enticing for me as somebody who wants to maybe put a Pi in it or a PC, versus $1,000 for, the fifth iteration of Golden Tee on a 19-inch
100%. Yeah.
There's something to be said, though, about the fact that Arcade1Ups are simple, right? So somebody can just put them together, turn them on, and they just work. There's no configuring different games, mapping buttons, things like that you might have with a larger Multicade. Quality-wise, you're absolutely right. Those are, they're cheap IKEA furniture for the most part, but they are simple and easy for somebody that just wants to throw some simple game into their basement or game room. There he is, joining us in bed like always.
Speaking of paisans, what's up, buddy?
Coming in from the bedroom.
You can't go to sleep when you have you guys. I'm watching you guys, man. Everyone I love here, including Michael B, who hates my name. F you. But I had to come in and at least say hello.
Glenn,
Mike,
you
keep butchering the Italian names.
I know. Oh man, that's one thing everybody hits me about, the way I pronounce things. But Glenn,
he's like Glenn.
You say you have
he's
one
like
license.
Glenn Pimento.
About Robbie Roto. Glenn.
That's right. You keep saying I have to correct you. You said I have no license. I have a license. The New Adventures of Robbie Roto, a Valley classic.
Public. It's a
boy. Did that game come out at the wrong time?
Yeah,
it did. I could have actually picked up a Robbie Roto for about $800 the other day, and I dedicated one, and I was like,
Glenn, we missed you this weekend. Every time I walked into too many games and I looked over to the left, I expected to see you over there.
They were all asking me to come out there, and I wish I could have, but it just happened to be I was launching the FU, right before then.
Oh, that's you too, buddy.
That's exactly it. Exactly. And to be honest, if I was down there at the show and I didn't have the FU with me, it would have been dumb. I got to wait till I have an FU so people can come by. I go, FU. Hey, FU too. FU.
Yeah, there's no point. There's no point really going to a convention like that unless you got the product with you to really showcase it. So I agree.
Right. And besides, and in all honesty, the Angry Video Game Nerd was there. I didn't want to show him up. I don't want him to have to deal with me taking away all of his people,
One thing I will say they got right, that idea of having like the Nerds game room there and then getting a picture on the futon with them. I've seen everybody doing it. I fucking wish I went just for that. Like, there's a lot of things on YouTube. Like, I don't give a shit about
Mike. I think you've got enough casting couches, don't you?
Yeah, but like
Mike's couch is a little sticky though.
Getting a picture with the Angry Video Game Nerd like that is a piece of YouTube history I'd like to have. Brooklyn, you got a picture, didn't you?
No, I don't get pictures with anyone.
No, I don't get pictures with anybody either, but that's a little bit different.
Well, you got a picture of me naked. What do you want?
Yeah, but people that didn't ask for that.
No, I did. I mean, I just say what's up. You know, I ran into RGT for a few minutes when I first walked in, said hello, and then I just go about my way, do my thing. Yeah, I'm not like an autograph guy.
Well, that's how we are in New York, though.
Yeah, I always feel weird. I went to WrestleMania fan access, and my wife was like, "Aren't you gonna get in line to get a picture with someone or get their autograph?" I'm like, I don't want that.
I don't get the
something I
people
want.
that pay all the money to get in,
Yeah.
and then you see them standing online for hours to get like stuff signed by the voiceover people.
Yeah.
You know, they did have the guy who does the voice of Luigi, which is nice, but it's like, to me, it's just a voice in a video game. Then it's you know, I don't know what the guy looks like. I could pass him on the street and I wouldn't know. So I'm more into like I just like hanging out, saying what's up to like other YouTubers and stuff. That's what I like, playing some games, shopping.
Yeah.
And that's it. Hanging out with my friends.
Really quickly, we had a $10 super chat here from Messiah. First, I want to say hello to the whole panel. Michael B. Guy, the only man I know who can review a cab before it even clears customs. That's true. I can tell you what I don't like about what I know. Hey, Bill, and nice to see Fringe. And ooh, it's that Glenn guy. Thank you very much for the super chat, Messiah.
Unacceptable
I'm
friends.
not
Did
going
you
to stay
still have?
long here. I'm sorry. I'm going to go, but I want to say, hi to everyone, but also ultimately the unacceptable fringe. I always wanted to say just hello to him and watch his stuff once in a while. Great channel. Enjoy the
I
content.
appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. You keep doing the good work.
I
Glenn.
do. I don't like. There's very few channels I like really watch. I watched Fringe's stuff a couple times. I mean, I go on and watch all the rest of you guys and stuff. I mean, I don't post really about shit anymore, but with the exception of like, stupid shit, but whatever.
I just wanted to wish you guys a FU good night to all, and to all FU good night.
Thanks,
Well, F
Santa.
you too, Glenn. Thank you so much.
Hi, Glenn.
Unacceptable French. Big question. Did you get rid of your iArcade? Because for some reason
I will
didn't think I
never.
saw it.
Never
Okay.
get rid of my iArcade. I love it.
All right.
It's still sitting up in my my den arcade. The only ones that sit on my set right now are the one my mom gave me before she passed, the first wave Street Fighter, and my Dragon's Lair, because there's an inside joke on my live streams. We've got a lot of Dragon's Lair fans, so they're always talking about the machine being better than the host. So we keep it on set as a gag, but it's
That's funny.
And the only reason I do is because I've got the Dragon's Lair iArcade upstairs. So this one stays down here, and I play it in between, filming when I get a chance. But it's good showpiece for the show. I like it. One of their better arcades, I think.
Yeah, there's about four or five really, really super quality arcade one-ups. Star Wars, Tron, Dragon's Lair. I would argue that Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition Deluxe Cab could possibly be in that mix. I don't know after that, but there's some they actually tried on. That's what I'll say. Like they really went on their way to do a good job.
I'm telling you right now that if Arcade1Up ever did a deluxe or even XL Burger Time the proper way, like they did with the Miss Pac-Man, I would totally get on that.
That is one that
opportunity.
people wanted. Yeah, I know there was talk about it a couple of years ago, a deluxe Burger Time, but never came to fruition. I would like a Burger Time done without the Karate Champ controls. Like if I could get a Burger Time with just
that was
the joystick
terrible
in the middle, I would fucking be all for that. And then not having the 8-way gate in there too. Like holy shit.
Mike, can I tell a quick story about the Dragon's Lair cabinet, the arcade?
Yeah, sure.
I was over at a party probably a couple of months back. A huge party, like over 100 people at this party. And he has a small room with some real arcades, but he has one arcade one up, which is the Dragon's Lair. So I figured I wanted to check it out, see how it played. And so someone was waiting to play behind me when I finished. He could not figure out how to get it to start. On my life, he says, "Oh, okay." He took a quarter out of his pocket and was trying to put a quarter in the coin slot. to get it to work.
I think
Good
it's
thing I was
35
there.
cents. Oh, that's a lot.
I was like, it's not a real coin slot.
No.
So yeah, good thing I was there. So I was there to save the day, and everyone was able to play Dragon's Lair.
And Brooklyn took his money instead.
Dude, he has a real gauntlet right next to it. I was like more interested in being on that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
without a doubt.
It's one of the things that most real arcade people hate Arcade1Up, like with a passion, complete passion. But one of the things they get interested in is when Arcade1Up does one of these really super expensive arcades or really hard to find arcades they would probably never have in their collection. And the ones they really tried on seem to fit into that riff. Games like Dragon's Lair, because Dragon's Lair is not an easy or cheap game to get. Same with Star Wars. Star Wars caught people's attention because it's done well. No?
Yeah, no, I mean, no, I agree. I mean, it's you know, being, well, you guys know, if you Brooklyn, you know, you're in New York, we have like, well, I don't know, I'm upstate, so there's shit all over the place up here. I mean, but the fact of the matter is that you're right with that. I mean, they knocked it out of the park with those titles.
Yeah.
And if they were smart, we know they're not, but if they were smart, they would have said, okay, hey, we sold those and those are hard to get titles and people still want those titles. Why don't we just make an XL version of those and they'll sell out in 2 seconds?
Yes. Dear
What?
God, yes.
It would, I mean, listen, honest as shit, if they sold an XL Star Wars, sure as shit, don't you think I wouldn't have one?
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it's the same thing. If they had I had a Burger Time at one point. I sold it to my buddy. I mean, a real one, because he was like dying for it, and I was like, he offered me a crazy amount of money for it. I was like, okay. So, but I mean, if they had even a deluxe Burger Time, maybe same thing. Why not? With the actual controls, not the Karate Champ bullshit. You know, I mean, but yeah, I just whoever's running the company right now, I really honestly don't think they care.
No.
100% don't care.
Their focus is right now on is just using the license that they have, putting it out as mass as they can, and maximizing the profit. I think I wanted to move into Iconic Arcade, and Bipple, I know you're not a John D fan, so I'm weary
Well,
about how this is
I
gonna
was
go.
friends. I was friends with him on Facebook for a long time. But I think when I lambasted him about the whole Glenn thing, I think that ended that. But
So Iconic Arcade, one of the rumors going around is that they actually have more than just Street Fighter coming down the pipes, and that apparently some people are saying, and James, you heard the same thing I heard, there's nothing to do a show on or anything, but I'll just throw the rumor out there that the retailer Spreetail may have already ordered additional licenses from Iconic Arcade that are going to be coming out, or at least announced towards the end of the year. So Street Fighter's not for everybody. I think that's one of the critical mistakes maybe Iconic made, is the fact that even though Alpha 2 is a new title, I mean, how many fucking releases of Street Fighter have we seen out of the home arcade companies over the years, right?
and
So
Third Strike is the best version ever. So if you're gonna do something, that was gonna be the one you should have done the first off.
but you know, if you listen to where these rumors are coming from, apparently the most customized and maybe most attention to detail type recreation arcades might be coming from Iconic Arcade. So taking that into consideration, is there anything that you really think they could release that would be super interesting to really catch people off guard? Fringe, what about you? I know you're set with your giant new Megacade, but is there something out there?
Well, again, nostalgia will always pull me in if I see something that I can get for less than the cost of a real machine. So, I mean, I'd like to see. I mean, one classic that you're always talking about that I'd like to see is a Robotron.
Oh yeah,
I'd like to see. I'd like to see Smash TV or something along those lines. Something we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
Maybe a Qbert.
Yeah.
You know, any of those, I'd be on board in 2 seconds. It's a better product, or at least looks to be a better product. So I guess time will tell when it comes out. But when I see a Street Fighter, it's like I've already had like 2 or 3 of those.
We've been here. We've been here.
Yeah.
Well, when I was talking back and forth with John every once in a great while, that like, you know, when everybody was asking, P-Dubs kept asking for Cubert, and I'm like, they will never make it because of that, joystick at the angle that they have to have it to make it actually work right, and that was going to never happen because that is literally the only game that uses it.
What about Cuber cubes?
Well, yeah. Well, obviously, any of the Cuberts. I've got. I mean, on mine, I've got Cubert cubes in mellow yellow and extra faster, harder Cubert. So, I mean, it. Yeah, you've got 4 Cuberts. I mean, but that's all you're going to get is Cubert. You know, I mean, I love the game. Obviously, I've got one. So it's like, but the fact of the matter is that, yeah, they would never going to make that. But you're right on the fact that they just got to stop making Street Fighters. And if they're going to do stuff, in all honesty, I think it's not going to be till Q1 when they finally actually come out anyway. I think there's going to be some roadblock coming up somewhere along the line that's going to stop it from coming out until Q1.
James, what do you think?
Well, so you know, when I think of, obviously, I want the Double Dragon to come out.
Oh,
so
yeah.
hopefully that one does come out. But thinking like, hey, if they stick with the Capcom licensing, I would love Ghouls and Ghosts and Goblins Cab as the lead title, right? So that it's
Phenomenal game.
You know, Ghosts and Goblins has been out before, but would love to see like an actual Ghouls and Ghosts Cab. And then to Pitbull's point, I think if they're delayed anymore, they probably need to be looking at refunds for people, right?
Yeah.
Like not
I agree.
delaying anymore. I don't think they can.
One more delay, and I mean that product's dead in the water.
Yeah, if it goes into 2026, a year after CES, that's problematic, and it's a little bit scary that they haven't even released the statement of whether they changed the artwork or not on that one cab. Like, how hard is that just to make a statement and say we decided to go with the same cat art, or if not, here's kind of the new art we're doing.
Here's the bad thing on that edge of it. I mean, I know, Mikey, you know, your wife knows law. I mean, I know it well enough that, you know, with all the years I played in bands and stuff, that you can get a gag order thrown on your ass real fast if you infringe on any, like, I mean, back when my band first came out eons ago, we were Captain Crunch. We were out and we got just about picked up by Metal Blade, and we got sued by General Mills. It was a cease and desist right off the bat. We couldn't, you know, we had to cancel tour dates. We had to do this, we had to do that because we couldn't use the name. We had to change the name. We had to wait. I had to reprint everything, do all the bullshit. It was a nightmare. And if that was just a band, you know, this, you know, you're talking multi-million-dollar companies. If they got a gag order slapped on them and they can't talk about it, or if they talk about it, they go against whatever was put on them, and then they could lose rights, whatever, you know. So I mean, them not saying anything is probably a strategic thing, much less as bad as it's not for everybody involved in wanting to know what's going on. It's just it's probably they can't say shit, and which is kind of sucks, because you're to your point, you're 100% right. If it gets delayed any further, in all honesty, I don't think it's going to be till Q1, but if it gets delayed any further, I think they're kind of screwed.
They're going to lose a lot of trust if it gets delayed any further, and like just this refusal to say anything, do anything, show anybody they're alive. So yeah, we'll see how that works out. Bill, anything that Iconic Arcade could come out with that you think is interesting, would get you interested in that company?
I think there's a lot of stuff that they could do. I know we talk a lot about, you know, oh, we've seen a million Street Fighters. Well, truth is, we've seen a million Mortal Kombats from Arcade1Up as well. But I think if Iconic did that more full-sized version, because everybody's wanting an XL Mortal Kombat. These are even, I think, slightly larger than that. If they did a Mortal Kombat and could even find a way to get MK4 on it, I think people would go nuts for it, even if you've had one before in the past. Beyond that, And again, again, it's John D, so we got to assume that there's potentially a lot of Capcom coming. I think if they did a Darkstalkers, that would be really cool.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Love Darkstalkers.
Yeah. I miss Darkstalkers. That's the only thing I miss about not having my Big Blue anymore. We don't get that Darkstalkers trilogy. So I'm glad I get an
one
extra
good thing is hopefully they don't come out with any more Mortal Kombats, because then we'll have to see Zohar again.
Brooklyn, anything from Iconic Arcade? Anything they could do that would interest you?
Unacceptable Fringe kind of is close to what I always would love to see a Smash TV and Total Carnage on the same cabinet together. Just to piss you off, Michael B, I'd like to see Magic Sword.
I don't know what it is, but there's this huge thing in the whole, like the arcade community too. Everybody started going nuts for Magic Sword, and I'm like, you motherfuckers played Magic Sword, right? But it was like, Nick Nostalgia, like Retro Ralph's buddy Nick. Everybody started talking about Magic Sword, and I was like, what's wrong with everybody? Like, Magic Sword's a good game, but like, it's not better than King of Dragons or Knights of the Round. Like, it's like the lesser version of both those games.
Than those. It's different. Those are more beat 'em up styles. Like, Magic Sword is just magical. Like, you get to pretty much save your progress every time you free somebody. They join you with a new power.
I'm not saying Magic Sword's a bad game. I just don't understand where all this love for it came from.
How about that and Black Tiger on the same cabinet? That'd be pretty awesome.
God, it's so
Black Tiger's a good game, though. Black Tiger is a good game.
So I do want to emphasize with this. I would say the only thing I would say is I caution.
It's magic.
I caution with Iconic Arcade. I think a lot of people have to realize that it's not John's company, but John's still very much involved. And if you look at what John really pushed, like Arcade1Up to do, we had massive fighter fatigue. Like, obviously, this guy has a very big concept of the fighting community. He's brought like Justin Wong back with him. So I would caution, like, there's a lot of things I want to see Iconic do. And I know that, Spreetail or whoever the retailer is reached out and said, like, lots of stuff coming. I'm concerned because I don't see John being that guy that's really going to try to really push like 80s titles. Double Dragon's a little bit different because he's got that nostalgia for it and is a very unique beat 'em up game. But like, people expecting to see Burger Time, Qbert, I will tell you, John is probably not the guy to push those titles. So that's the only thing I would say there. I don't think that's a good fit. As long as Iconic is working with John D, I don't know if he's the guy that's going to push Qbert. I don't know if he's the guy that's going to push some of these 80s titles that we would want to see, like Defender with proper controls and stuff like that.
Well, let's the reason he brought Justin Wong with him, he offered him a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts, and Justin said yes. So that's
that's a good question, Messiah. $4.99. What's the panel's favorite game that's not good? Mine is Yo Noid. Yo Noid on the Nintendo is not good. Not good at all. Bill, what's your favorite bad game? Like, guilty pleasure game?
All right. I guess this is kind of a guilty pleasure game, but I absolutely, in the arcades, I absolutely loved Crossbow. It's not the greatest game.
Doesn't have to be arcade.
It's not the greatest. It's not the greatest
Crossbow is
game,
awesome.
but there's just something about that crossbow gun and shoot. I to this day love that game. So,
James, your chance. What's your guilty pleasure? Mappy. Mappy.
I love Mappy, and I know most people don't like it. So,
Unacceptable Fringe, your guilty pleasure game, bad game, but you like it.
I you know what? One that I always go back to that I had fun with my friends as a kid was Bad Street Brawler on the Nintendo. It's terrible, but there's something about beating the piss out of a gorilla.
Wow.
It's just so much fun.
That's bold. Bold. Brooklyn, you're gonna say a game from the iArcade, Escape from Popo. That's your guilty pleasure game.
That was so bad I didn't even buy it, and I'm not going to say Bears either. Yes.
What's your guilty pleasure game?
Like Thriller, that light gun shooting gallery game.
Chiller?
Oh yeah,
Chiller.
Sorry, Chiller.
Yeah, Chiller.
I call it Thriller because it's so thrilling.
Same company that made
I think-
Crossbow.
Yeah,
I think,
it's,
yes. I think
100%.
everyone
What
needs to try out that game at least once.
what's the name of that company? They made all those early
Exidy.
games. Exidy.
Thank you. I knew it was
Exidy.
Yeah, they actually also made Venture, Mousetrap. They did Targ. They did oh shit, man. I'm usually a wealth of knowledge. About 5 of these though, not very much right now.
Yeah, but they made a ton of those shooter cabs.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We're all
Cheyenne.
similar like that. Cheyenne.
That's right,
Shooting
Cheyenne, yeah, I
Gallery,
remember
a bunch
now.
of them.
Yeah.
It always cracked me up because when you played Cheyenne, like when you got to a point and you're shooting, the Indian guy that you were like walking across the screen, you were trying to protect the guys like you were in Crossbow or Chiller or any other shit. He was like, you could tell it was a Japanese company because it didn't say pale face, it said pale fish. So it was like
Pipple, your guilty pleasure game.
Zwackery.
Zwackery. I know Zwackery. I don't think I've ever played it.
Oh God, such an amazing game. It's just like when I remember the Aladdin's Castle when I was younger, like right after the crash, like the arcade crash, like I used to go up there just to play. It's on. You can play it on Yak Games.
Yeah.
You can play it on Yak Games. I mean, it's like but it's just one of those games. It's like the guy that made it is the same guy that made Sarge and Rampage and all that stuff. So I mean, I'm friends with the guy. So those games are just like when he made Zwackery. It's a great wizard type, but it's like an acid trip. It's so far out there. It's like you think that game Wacko is crazy. Zwackery is like takes the cake on it. It's like beyond.
But Wacko has a funny looking cab too.
Yeah.
Oh, it does. Yeah. It's nuts. That game is like, you walk up to it and you're like, wait a minute. You're like I can't gauge what I'm supposed to be doing. So yeah, but Zwackery by a long shot. I mean, yeah, that and Venture are my two probably top to play whenever I see them.
All right. I am not going to go arcade. I'm going to go NES. And there's lots of LJN games that I think are actually good games. I know this is a bad game, but I still really like it. I like the first LJN Back to the Future. I really like that game. Like the music sped up because they didn't get the license to the music. So that's annoying.
Savage.
And I know it's really hard to understand the rule set, but it is fun, man. It's got that, top-down scrolling shooter. Then they go to the other levels. I beat it. I had fun with it. I love Back to the Future on the NES. Not part 2 and 3. That game really is terrible.
That's funny, man.
What?
That is terrible.
It's a good game.
No, I mean
think
part
it's
2
good.
and 3 were terrible.
Oh my God.
They were like I could. I mean, my son could make better on his animation tablet. You know what I mean?
I challenge James. You can make a better game than Back to the Future 2 and 3 in your next live stream. I bet you can. It wouldn't take long. All right, so
let me have a few more of these.
So
And
can
I'll
I change,
sketch
can
it
I
out for
change
you.
my answer? The worst game is the one that James made on that stream a few weeks ago.
what was he trying to recreate? Robotron.
It was Robotron, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's the worst game of all time.
James has a bad history of doing this. He's like, I can make better art than Act games in the Jurassic Park art.
It was way better, and you know it.
It's funny. One LJN game that gets a lot of flack on the NES that I don't think is that bad once you understand the mechanics is Nightmare on Elm Street. I think.
Oh, so good.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Once you
I
understand
agree.
the houses and how it works and the different roles and things, like it's really not that bad. And what a lot of people forget with LJN that they don't even touch on in Angry Video Game Nerd is that LJN was just the publisher. A lot of those games were developed by companies like Rare.
Rare did Nightmare on Elm Street and Working Designs, I think it was, or Atlas. No, sorry, Atlas did Friday the 13th.
Yep, was Atlas. You're right.
Yeah. A lot of good companies made these games and just were pushed out by LJN because LJN with their toy company had all the rights to all the movie licenses and stuff like that. So Yeah, they were just looking to push stuff out quickly. Now, some games really were bad. One that's fucking terrible. I don't think it was actually an LJN game. It might have been Bandai Namco that made this one, or another weird company. Dick Tracy on the NES.
Oh
That
no,
game was
fucking
terrible.
That was fucking
Awful.
horrible.
Awful.
That's like Raiders of the Lost Ark ET fucking terrible.
Oh yeah, terrible.
It's nightmare fuel.
Wow. When I first got ET, I remember I got it around Christmas time. I loved that game. I was like super excited. For it.
I still have all of those games. I have the original before they called it the 2600. I still have my original one. I have one in the box. I still have a Super NES in the box. I have probably 80 games for the Atari all the way through, like the Magic, Activision, all the bullshit. So I've got some of the, even like the Rubik's Cube game that they got sued for because they didn't have the rights for it. They had to call it Intelligent Cube afterwards. I actually have the original one. So there's like certain ones like, that, well, I was like pumped when I was a kid played that Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm like, this is going to be great. I'm like, holy fuck, this is terrible.
Yeah, it's not good. Not good.
Oh yeah.
I think back then we were
bad.
just excited that we can move something on a TV screen.
Dude, I still have my original Telstar Pawn. With the thing you had the 2 sliders on it. I still have all that shit.
I have one downstairs in the box. Telstar Pong. Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I've got the Coleco. What is it? The Coleco Telstar Arcade, the triangle one with the gun, the steering wheel.
Yep.
I wish I still had mine. That was the first one I ever owned. Was that triangle one with the steering wheel and the shoe? Oh, that thing was great.
It's really not that bad. I connected it maybe a couple of years ago and played with it with the kids. We had a good time. It's still a good. It's primitive, but I mean, again, for a 4-year-old, they had fun with it. So can't be all that bad.
So have you guys seen this new homebrew for the NES, the All Hell Unleashed?
Man, those homebrews are awesome. Those guys, man, those guys got that's some talent right there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're being able to pull like that, those graphical stylings out of those consoles is nuts.
Yeah, I got a friend named Tony, Electric Adventures, that my buddy Glenn knows as well. Had him on a show a couple times. Like, he was really big in doing like a bunch of porting to that Amiga system and like Coleco. Yeah, he did a bunch of that stuff, but I never understood the appeal to go back and make games for old consoles. I like what the guys that are doing, the new T2 game. The system they have where it can be scaled back to be put on other things, like they can take that T2 game now and make like a Neo Geo card or a Sega Genesis card from it. Like, I find that fascinating that you can make a new game that can be scaled back more so than making a new game for a console.
I still have my Genesis with my 32X and all that shit, man. I used to talk about games fuck, man, Shakan the Forever Man.
Yes, now we're talking.
What that Echo the Dolphin? I was like back when that game for all those games first came out. Remember, the Tasmania game?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I actually had it hooked up through my VCR at the time, and I recorded the entire game of me beating it. And there used to be a bar here called the Tasmanian Embassy. I walked into the bar and I handed the owner, I was friends with him, here, put this in the VCR. And it was like 6 hours of fucking me playing Tasmania, just playing on TV. What is this? The game. And he's like, what the fuck? So you're like, it's the same thing. I still have my Dreamcast. I have probably 140 Dreamcast games. All the imports, all the bullshit, just crazy stuff, man. Fire Pro Wrestling, all that shit.
Guys, I don't want to keep you all night. I actually got to go to bed a little bit earlier tonight because tomorrow's a big day for me. I got to jump on the pre-order train. So before I go, this is completely off base, but James, I know you'll see behind our friend Unacceptable Fringe, I think just over his left shoulder, he's got the same Transformers Devastator set that I've got. You're collecting currently right now the new Devastator, the bigger Devastator, right?
Yeah, so I have the original CIB, but it's really a bootleg.
Yeah.
So it's not real. But yeah, I've gotten the.
Oh, you guys are
4.
gonna fucking hate me. I've got
4.
all the Gen 1 stuff from when I was younger.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I've got like
Studio
Omega
series
Supreme with
ones.
the lead paint.
So, anyways, I'm excited because tomorrow's a big toy day
Mask.
for me. Because I don't know if you guys remember the
Mask.
show, but yeah, Mask. So the Mask pre-order
Yep.
goes up tomorrow on the Loyal Subjects, 8 a.m. Eastern time. So you're going to be able to order all 5. It's 5 of the first figures, right? So we're getting the Rhino,
Yeah.
which is now called the Mobile Defense Unit. The Switchblade, which is for some reason now called the High-Tech Helicopter, James.
Yeah, something like that.
So
the other 2 have the right name, the Condor and the whatever the other one is.
But the cool thing about this is Big Bad Toy Store, who the pre-order goes live with tomorrow, they have a very special San Diego Comic-Con exclusive where the Rhino actually has some more chrome fittings to it. And then you also get T-Bob and what's his name?
Scott, I think. Yeah.
So you get 4 figures total with the Rhino instead of just 2.
Wow.
Yeah, that one. The only problem with that one is it's a little pricey. It's like $250 US.
$175. Oh, it's gone up even more.
Yeah, it's from what I saw, like Canadian. It was 4 something, which
No
converted to
fucking
like
way.
$240
No.
US.
I got an update earlier from one of the toy websites said that one's going to be 175 US. The Switchblade was going to be 110. I can't remember, but it wasn't that high. Where did you see in this?
It was on when it was originally leaked. That's what they were saying the price was when they were showing the pictures of the box and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have the toy channel up in front of me, or I'd tell you what it was.
But when are they going to do Inhumanoid? Is what I want to know.
Good question. Good question. Like,
Does anybody know if have they announced the other 2 for Devastator yet, or is it just the 4 that are available? Right
they
now? 'Cause
went
I've
up
got
for
those on order.
pre-order last week.
Done.
So
All right.
Yep.
Good to know.
BBTS has them.
I need a full size out of the box. These ones are staying. A viewer sent me this one, so it's staying in the box. But I need a full scale out of the box.
Yeah, I've still got mine in the box too. I'm having a problem right now. I'm kind of an in-box toy collector. I don't take them out very often.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your wife, Mike. Sorry.
But the problem I'm having now is my son, as soon as he gets near anything, he'll just tear it open, tear it apart.
Yeah.
So I brought home Gears from the new Transformers that just came out, Gears and Bumblebee, and he tore Gears apart. Now he's got them lost. So I am going to have a complete in-box Gears because I got to replace them and find another one. But he also did it to some of my TMNT toys. Like I had to clean out this area. So I had my toys in the hallway on a shelf there. He came by, grabbed my Baxter Stockman, and just ripped them apart. And I was like, no! So now I'm going to have to open all my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because of that.
High shelves, Mike. Get high shelves.
I just got to keep them away from it, like locked in a different space. They're down in the basement where you can't get into them.
Well,
Poor
that's
kid.
like
He's
how
learning
how,
at a
how,
young age. You don't open toys. You leave them
That's
sealed in the
crazy.
box.
how old's your kid now?
My son turned 3 in April, so I got another 2 years of him home. We're trying to get him into daycare now.
You got 2 years from home before you put him to work. You mean?
No, before school. So I really enjoyed having him home, but we're trying to get him into daycare right now because he's struggling a little bit with his speech, and we think it'd be better for him to be around other kids, and maybe that'll help pick that up. That
happened to my daughter. Yeah, 100%.
Hopefully they don't go on a field trip to a
the
toy
local
store.
school district for extra classes and stuff.
I can't. I brought him into the EB Games. It's back. GameStop's back to being called EB Games here in Canada now. And he started opening toys in the store, and I was like, "No, you're gonna make me pay for them."
That's awesome.
Sure, Mike. That's exactly what he did, isn't it? That's what you tell the wife at least.
No, he did. He literally did. He started opening these Sonic toys, and I was like, "No!" And he ripped open.
I saw your post about that actually. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh man, it's brutal.
See, I do that with my kids, but I give them the toys that I want and say, just tell them you opened it and we had to.
That's smart.
See, I used to collect. I used to collect. I have stuff that was like, man, I got some crazy high dollar shit, and thank God, all my stuff, my comic boxes, all my stuff's in the attic, away. It's because I used to display it, and then when we had the kids, it was like I better put this shit away because there's like
Oh, yeah.
there's $100,000 worth of friggin' toys sitting there. I'm like, he's gonna chew on these fucking things. So that's what I did. Like, I'm like, I have a 4-foot ball rog, and his wingspan is like as long as my arms. It's like it's like ridiculous. And it was like, you know, I used to display it, and I'm like, nah, I probably should put that away. And it was the same thing with my Gen 1 Transformers, and like I have stuff like my best man at my wedding was Doug Jones. You know who Doug Jones is? He was the Silver Surfer originally.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he was also Pan from Pan's Labyrinth and Abe Sapien and Hellboy. So I have shit signed from him and Ron Perlman. I have on Tower Records Hellboy with the horns. That's an 18-inch. That like it's all signed. I was like, you know, I got to put this away because if this shit gets trashed, I can't replace it. and it's like I'm like my wife's like, just you better find a place for it. Like, yeah, back in the attic because I'm right now. But now my son's he's 12 and he's totally into all that shit. So he always asks me, "Hey, can we take this out? Can we get this? Can we get this?" I'm like, so I bring out some of my Spawn stuff, and he's like. He's totally into it. And my daughter's 8 and she's like, she knows she doesn't open anything. She's like, cause on top of my arcade games, I have the Iron Giant and Robbie from Forbidden Planet on top of the game. And they're like, they used to ask me all the time, can we take those out? No, we can't. And now they don't even ask. They're just like, no, that's dad stuff. We don't touch that.
Oh boy. Yeah. Well, boys, I got to step in and say I'm going to give Mike a good segue here. I got to bounce. I've got holiday weekend trip tomorrow, so I got to leave. But Mike, keep up the good work. Thanks to everybody.
Thank you so much, brother.
Well, you guys, same.
Hey, friends, nice meeting you.
Thanks.
Come on to my channel sometime and let's have a real chat, huh? Let's.
Well,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I'll go on your channel if we're gonna trash Danny. How's that?
I could sit around and do my Donald Trump all night. We can go, guys. Listen, you got to get together. We got to talk arcades, okay?
That one.
That was good.
Absolutely.
That was good.
Everybody should. You guys have a great night. Mike, again, everybody keep up the good work. Brooklyn, love the streams. James, content, everything you guys do, all of you. I watch you all. So shout out again. Have a great weekend, guys. Stay safe and we'll
appreciate
you later.
Take it easy.
Yeah, guys, sun's getting real low for me too. I think it's bedtime. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me.
Sun's getting really low.
Switch 2 times.
It's already morning time.
Why?
No, but like it's 12:20 my time. So
no, don't forget, I live on the East Coast. I'm south of you.
Yeah, so you're about what is it? 11 o'clock. Just coming up on 11 your time, right?
Yeah, we're coming up on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, 10:50.
Yeah, see, you still got some time left. Me, I'm past time. I'm going right to bed after this.
Well, listen, my kids are in bed. My wife's in bed. She went to bed at 8:30 because she's got to get up. She goes to the gym at 3:30 in the morning to be to work by 6.
Yeah.
So if I go upstairs and wake her up right now, yeah, I'm gonna get punched in the face.
Yeah, seriously, guys, thank you so much for coming on, making tonight so much fun for me and everything like that. James, Pitbull, Bill, Brooklyn, Unacceptable Fringe, who was here a couple minutes ago, made this a lot of fun. And every now and then, like I get wear down a lot because so much fucking stuff going on in the community, people complaining about all this other stuff, and I just want to talk about games. So thanks for coming on and doing that with me, guys.
Well, dude, for all this time, like me, coming on and always trash talking everybody in the fucking comments. I'm not a bad guy. I just play a bad guy on TV. So I appreciate you all, and Mike, I love you, man. And
I know.
It's nice meeting the rest of you guys finally, and I appreciate you guys. So I'm sure. Hey, listen, if you see me shooting the shit or blasting somebody in your comments, I'll come on and I'll blast them to their face. It's fine.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Everybody else, have a wonderful night. We'll see you next time.
Yes.
James, I really hope you're wrong about those, Matt.